Welcome to Insights into Insurance with Tom Sorensen of Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.
Another Saturday morning, time for Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance's Tom Sorensen. And Tom, good Saturday morning.
Good Saturday morning to you, Paul.
Tom, if you're all set, I know we've got a guest here we'll get to in just a moment, but we do have a listener email to attain. Is that all right?
We do, yes.
All right. Hi, Tom. I heard there was a change in acreage reporting dates for crop insurance this year. Is it true? From Joe.
Joe. And you know what? This came as one of my clients emailed me. It's Joe, and I'm going to call him Joe Farmer today.
Joe Farmer it is.
Joe Farmer. Joe, the question that you just asked, yes, there is a different date, but there is two answers or two parts to your question, Joe. And so with this question, again, as everybody knows, usually when I get an email, or a lot of times when I get an email, I'll bring in special guests to help answer the question, okay, and go through this. And so my special guest today is Lee Crawford, the CED of Freeborn County FSA office. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, Tom, and good morning to you, Paul.
Morning, Lee.
Lee, so you're a CED of Freeborn County FSA. What the heck is a CED?
That's a good question. The CED, there's a lot of acronyms in government. CED actually stands for County Executive Director. What I do, I'm responsible for administering the programs that are authorized by Congress through the Farm Bill, and I just deal with Freeborn County, the producers there. I do administrative stuff, so I hire all the staff, I do training, I do performance ratings, disciplinary actions, awards, recognitions, promotions, that kind of stuff.
You do a lot.
I do.
From soup to nuts.
Absolutely.
All right. So what does the FSA do? Now, a lot of our listeners and what we're going to be talking about is about farm and what they need to do, but we got a lot of listeners that aren't farmers, so I bet you they'd like to know what the FSA office does, which is the Farm Service Agency is what it stands for, and it's a division of the USDA. So what does the FSA office do?
First of all, I would like to say I grew up on a farm in Iowa, so I feel I'm very lucky to have this job because I get to work with farmers. So that's something I just really appreciate that opportunity, and the staff feels the same way. So what better sort of clients could you have than farmers?
Absolutely. Our agency is about 60 to 70% farmer niche, and I agree with you 100%. That's why we're doing it.
Exactly. So what we do, as I mentioned about the programs within the Farm Bill, there's numerous programs. There's so many I can't even mention them, but I'm just going to talk really briefly about the major ones that we deal with in Freeborn County. There's disaster programs for natural disasters, and that deals with not only crops, but also livestock and real property, like tornado goes through and destroys buildings or whatever. Conservation programs, which helps to enhance or preserve water quality, soils. We want the good dirt to stay in the place and not to go down the Mississippi River and all that stuff. Help the wildlife. And we got a recent new one here for honeybees, for pollinators and that type of thing. So that's some of the major things that we're doing. We're also a safety net for farmers. So if there's financial stress out there, which there is right now with these lower prices. And we also do credit. We finance grain bins, do operating loans, machinery loans, cattle loans, livestock loans that actually helping farmers purchasing farms. So those are the major ones that we do.
Does that credit, do these people that get credit through the FSA high risk, or are they low risk, or are they medium risk, or are they all above?
Very good question. And to answer that, like with any government answer, there's no easy answer. Because there's actually two divisions within FSA. As a CED, I handle like the facility loan program. There are no restrictions on whether you're really well-to-do, or you have credit risk. I mean, I should say we do look at your credit report, and it's got to be decent.
Right.
And we're looking at, can you have the ability to repay the loan?
Sure.
So cash flow is king on our decision making. Now on the other one, there's a farm loan program within FSA, and there's actually Tracy Nelson. She actually works out of Fairmont. She comes to Albert Lea. She's got multiple counties. She comes to Albert Lea every Friday because we got a good customer base here. So that is a little different deal where you're really well-to-do. You just can't come in to get cheap interest rates. So there's got to be show a need for it to do it. And we do all kinds of loans, and then we also partner with the private sector lenders, the banks or the Farm Credits or AgStars, which I think they just got a new name of the world.
Yeah.
They can look at the credit quality of that particular client, and they say they want to do something. We don't quite meet it, but we can work with FSA to help us back that with a guarantee. So they work with their lenders. We just kind of do the paperwork in the background. So that's a way to help them too. So we help a lot of people out. I've helped a lot of beginning farmers out. That's kind of our really emphasis is beginning farmers and that type of thing.
Yeah. Well, now back to Joe's question. We better answer Joe's question, and they're probably saying, well, okay, this is all about the FSA office. What does this got to do about insurance? Well, there is a tie. You and I in your office, we kind of do work together sometimes, and one of the things here is certification acreage reporting with the FSA. Can you tell us about that?
Every year, once the farmers get their planning done, they have to report their acres to FSA. They've been doing this since, I don't know, whenever the farm program started back many, many years ago, so it's not anything new. It's July 15th. Now, July 15th this year falls on a Saturday, and we're not open on the weekends, so it's going to fall to the next business day that we're open, so that will be Monday the 17th, and that's something that people need to do. If they do not do that, if there's ever a safety net payment that we have, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, this is one of the programs we have, they don't certify their acres, we don't pay them anything. That goes with conservation too. If they don't have their conservation contracts certified properly, then we don't pay that either.
Is there some sort of a fine or a fee if they don't have it done by the 17th this year? So basically what you're telling me is the 17th is the deadline this year because it's on a Monday, and the 15th is on a Saturday. Normally it's on the 15th. So is there some type of a fine or a fee if they do not?
Yes, it's called late certification. They come in after the 17th, and we charge. I got to go out and I got better things to do with my time and stuff, but I am required to go out and look at every one of these fields that are late certified. So there's basically it's almost like an inspection fee. We don't call it that. We call it late certification fee. The minimum charge is $46 per farm number, but if I got to go a lot farther out or do a lot more, we're going to charge more.
Okay.
So the minimum's $46, and I got to run around, and then we have to go to our county committee, which we're going to talk about a little bit later too. They got to approve these things. So it's a lot of extra paperwork on our end too. So people need to get in.
Well, we're going to take a 30-second break here, and we're going to come back and talk more about acreage reporting, and then also on my side, the multi-peril acreage reporting that we do. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Take us out to your ball game. Take us out to the crowd. We sell insurance for most anything. Who'd have guessed that the A-team could sing for its root? Root, root for good coverage. Americana's more than a name. 4X377 2000 for the insurance A-team.
You'll be singing too when you see what the A-Team and Americana Insurance can do for you.
Let's take it from the top again. I think the rest of you were out of tune.
Back here on Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance's Tom Sorensen. And Tom, today we're talking about acreage reporting. Before we kind of get back into that acreage reporting, you kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some insurance pieces that fall into that.
Right. So this is where the Insights into Insurance, we as multi-peril crop insurance agency also have to get from the farmer his acres, and he's got to report them to us also. So he's actually got to report him to two places. He's got to report him to the FSA office, which is Lee, and then they got to come over to my place. Matter of fact, I don't report their acres until they've actually have gone to the FSA office. That's what I do, so that our acres match their acres, okay? Because they're actually going to go back onto those acres, the adjuster is, and look at those FSA numbers and make sure that they match up with my schedule of insurance. Crop insurance acreage reporting is the same date as the FSA. That changed a few years ago. I don't remember exact date, but it was a few years ago. It used to be July 1.
Before the holiday.
Yep, and the FSA office, Lee's office, used to be July 15th. To be honest with you, it was a real headache. Lee probably liked it because they would get done probably earlier than they do now, because everybody needed to get that done before the July 1st. Well, for me, it was, I always heard about, why do I need to get this done? The FSA doesn't require it till July 15th. Well, we're both ran by the USDA. Yes, I got another division that oversees the crop insurance called the Risk Management Agency, or RMA, but now the two dates coincide.
I could add something to that, a little bit of inside baseball on that. RMA, Risk Management Agency, is a umbrella of USDA, just like FSA. We're like sister agencies, brothers, or whatever you want to call it. What I understand is there was a compromise on that date. RMA went to July 15th, provided FSA would go to November 15th on like alfalfa and fall seeded crops.
Okay, yep.
So that's a little bit, there are two different dates.
Yep.
So that was because you got to be out there before, with the potential of winter kill on alfalfa, you need to be out there to see that before the winter happens.
Right.
So that's where we compromise. That's the way I understand it.
You mean the government actually compromised?
Yes, they
wow,
did.
It actually, okay.
I think it makes sense.
All right. The FSA office reports by farm number, and we can get into a whole bunch of that, but they go by a farm number, which could be land all over the place. It just depends on when that farm was established. We report by unit, which is totally different than by farm number. Okay, it's usually by land of each crop by section. Doesn't necessarily have to always be that way because there's some other rules, but that's how that is. So, okay.
To add to that a little bit, Tom, in our world, a person could have one farm number and have 7 different landlords.
Yes.
Or they could have 7 farm numbers with 7 different landlords.
Right.
So if they have one, it's just less paperwork.
But sometimes we have guys that could have 10, 20 farms. So back to that $46 fine, that guy with 10 farms could see a $460 late fee, possibly, or more, because he didn't report by July 17th. So, but back to Lee here with the Freeborn County FSA. I believe he put out a letter on July 5th. That what was that letter? What did it state?
It's an electronic newsletter. We do everything by email now, and if you want to get in on that, let us know, and we'll get you added to our database. Earlier this week, I counted up. We print all our maps ahead of time, so if people come in and just grab them, if they want to take them back to our office and fill them out, or whatever they want to do, it's just probably be more efficient for everybody. And we got it by name based on what they did last year. Now, if they made some changes, we're not going to know that till they tell us. So I went in and I counted not the farm, how many farms, but how many names. And our one desk, we had 180. With the other one, we have some stuff. They've been in. They need to come back in. They said they'd be back in. It's like another 25 or so. So now we're over 200. And we were figuring as a guess. We know people have been out. We don't keep track of that stuff. But I was thinking close to another 30, 40. So ballpark 250. That's individual people.
Right.
We've got 6 days left now.
Right.
So people need to not wait till the last couple of days. Come in and you just be prepared to wait and be patient. And just let you know, which we're going to talk about our county pretty soon, but our county, that's those contracts, you can do that in January. We encourage people to do that before they plant. Get that stuff done once you know what you're going to be farming. So then when you come in to report your acres, that's all you got to do. You got people that come in early and then they're waiting in there because somebody wants to do both. And we might get to the point this next week or so we're not going to do both. We're just going to do acreage reporting because we got an extended date on the farm sign up for the Arc County program.
So now on the multi-peril side, if they don't report their acres by July 17th, it actually is probably worse than this $46 per farm. They could deny all crop insurance coverage. The excuse to be late is pretty much you better be dead. That would be way worse than getting a $46 fee because we're talking it could be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars that could be at stake.
And just to add to that, Tom, is that with RMA in Washington and FSA, they communicate, the databases, they talk to each other so they know. So Tom couldn't have someone, just to follow up, I have a claim, if they haven't been in to certify their acres, well, they can claim it, but they're not going to pay anything on crop insurance, and that's way more money, way more money than a little bit of money we kick out for safety net. So crop insurance, you want to keep those folks happy to protect your assets and your farming operation.
You know, what's nice for us at our agency, and just to give us a little, advertisement here, is when you go and certify at the FSA office, we're just a walk across the parking lot to our agency, and that's what guys do is they basically go get certified over at the FSA office, and then they come right over to my office. We actually got about 35 left, so out of that amount that Lee was saying, that's about what we got. It's about 35 policies left to complete. Any other deadlines coming up, Lee, for the FSA office?
For the Arc County Safety Net program, it's August 1st. so they have a little more time to do
sign
that.
up for the program.
But they can actually start that in December if they wanted to.
Okay.
So I think if they get their taxes done, their tax people, usually in January, get that done. They know what land they're going to be farming. Come on in. Just get it done.
Any other deadlines? How about reconstitutions?
That means farm changes.
Yep.
If there's a change in the farm, that's August 1st too. So
okay.
And that's there again. Once you know that, come in early because we can't do your acreage reporting, but we got to make changes. It just doesn't happen like that. There's a process we have to go through. We can't run a new contract if there's changes for York County. So don't expect to come in and just do all this at the last second and we're going to get it done. We're not going to get it done.
And then you got some county committee election nominations that got to be in by August 1st?
August 1st, And the unique thing about that, if we got a few seconds to add in here, is that this is very unique in the entire civilian government. We actually have elected farmers. We split the county up into, we got 20 townships. We got to split it into 3 areas.
Okay.
Every year, a farmer runs for the county committee, and they have to serve a 3-year term. They actually hire the director.
Oh, okay.
Farmers do.
Okay.
But they get some help with the process and doing
right.
it. So, and then I hire the staff and all that stuff. So that's very unique.
Oh, yes, it is.
In all of the federal government. I think we're the only ones that do that. So
right.
It's kind of a very important position to have, and we got some really good folks on there. But we always encourage people that if they want to step up and do it, go for it.
Tom, we're all out of time today, but I want to thank Lee for coming today. Lee, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you for having me.
And if people have questions, you can always give Tom a call at Americana Insurance, 507-377-2000. Tom, what's the email if people want to email you a question?
It's insights@americanainsurance.com, and our website, if you'd like to look us up, www.americanainsurance.com.
Appreciate the time today. We'll see you next week.
Have a great weekend, Paul, and you too, Lee. Thank you.
Yep, everybody come on in. We're waiting for you.
You've been listening to Insights into Insurance from Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is intended to be educational in nature. Before acting upon any information obtained during the Insights into Insurance radio show broadcast, consult an appropriately licensed professional.